Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. Listen, I'm glad to have you here on this the 1st of May, 2020. Anyway, let's get started. Uh, let's open up the charts right here and take a look at what's going on. This is the Wuhan Institute of Virology. We'll pull the map out a little bit so you can see it. It's right here in Wuhan. And I'm going to tell you, last night, I was on here and I was watching the President of the United States. Uh, he said that the virus originated in the Wuhan Institute of Virology. Uh, and, he's had access to intelligence briefings and everything else. He wouldn't go into any detail on where he got the information from. He was keeping all that quiet. He wasn't revealing that. But he did say that it come from the Wuhan Institute of Virology. But you know what the big story out there is right now? Now, you got to understand, I'm a critical thinker. When they said about how it came from the Wuhan seafood market, I was like very skeptical. And now they're saying that it had to be an accidental release of the virus from the Wuhan Institute of Virology. Well, to say the very least, I'm skeptical. Again, you know. And the thing is all of us, you, everybody out there, we used to have a life. Even the party goer that was on Daytona Beach, the young guy with his hat on backwards, and he was out there and he was saying how this virus ain't going to affect me. I'm going to go out there and party and I'm going to have a good time and everything else. Now he can go to his party and all he's going to hear is crickets chirping. So, I mean, we all used to have a life. And this virus is not only destroying all of our lives, we don't have a life anymore, but at the same time, it's killing a lot of people so that they really don't have a life. Quite seriously, I mean, like over 60,000 people in the United States have died with this thing. Yet, we don't really take a critical approach when we say, hey, you know what, this virus was probably accidentally released by the Wuhan Institute of Virology. Now that the president is saying, hey, it's come from the Wuhan Institute of Virology. We need to start thinking critically. Instead of just thinking, we need to start thinking out of the box. And I mean, this is they call a new novel virus. You know what that means, novel virus? It means new, brand new. Now, okay, let's do a little bit of critical thinking. Mankind is out there and they're digging around in the woods, they're going into caves, they're handling bats. Now, if you got a virus that's so catchy that one person catches it, every person on Earth catches it a few months later. Because that's basically what this thing is. One person comes down with it, and then everybody comes down with it a few months later. Don't you think that all of these years, hundreds, even thousands of years, people crawling into caves to handle bats and stuff, don't you think in the past that they would have come across this virus and it would have spread all over the Earth? At some point in the past, if this virus had been already out there within the natural pool of viruses. Why do you think they call it a new novel coronavirus? Novel meaning new coronavirus. And a critical thinker would say, hey, you know what? Maybe this virus, just maybe, a critical thinker would say, maybe this virus was created new in a lab. Well, I'm a critical thinker, and I'm sitting here thinking to myself, well, maybe this virus is created new in the lab. Well, there's 500 or so different versions of coronavirus out there. Maybe they already got COVID-19 and COVID-20 and COVID-21 and COVID-22, COVID-23, all the way up to COVID 550. We're all ready to go in petri dishes. Here's this place, right here. So we were sitting there, and we were thinking, hey, the big threat in the world is Iran making a nuclear weapon, an A-bomb, and that's where our attention was focused, Our attention, actually, to the biggest danger in the world should have been focused on this Wuhan Institute of Virology. And still should be, because they might have COVID-20 sitting in a petri dish waiting to go right now, and here all we are thinking, hey, you know what, we're going to get through this, I'm telling you, 2 or 3 years ago, I said the Chinese, now I'm not talking about the Chinese people. I'm talking about the high up part of it, and this is a big problem in the world. Is we were complacent, and we were all living our lives, and we were happy. Now we don't have a life anymore. So the big question is, are we going to continue to be complacent? Or are we going to start to do our due diligent research into what's going on? What's really going on in the world? Because our lives have been taken away. And I mean, a lot of us now, we don't have a job anymore. I can't begin to tell you. Anyway, I'm not going to go there. Anyway, listen, guys. Let's move in and take a look at the prices of stuff today. Silver. Silver's $14.92. Gold, silver, cryptocurrency, all of it was getting ready to take a big move up to the upside. Bitcoin right now probably would have been $15,000. Silver probably would have been over $20 an ounce right now if this virus hadn't have come along. This virus is spoiling, it's souring the milk of everyone's life. So we don't have sweet milk to drink anymore. We got sour milk with mold growing on the top of it to drink. That's what we got. That's our lives now because of this virus. Anyway, take a look at this. Cryptocurrency. Oh, I forgot to do gold. Okay, I got to settle down a little bit. I got to chill. Okay, here, gold. $16.97 today. It's up $12.50. Okay, so let's move on to cryptocurrencies. We're looking at $247 billion for the Bitcoin industry, 65.4% Bitcoin dominance, $8,840 for Bitcoin, $213 for Ethereum, and XRP is 21.8 cents. Bitcoin Cash is $256. Bitcoin SV is $211, and Litecoin is $47.70. Let's move on to the Dow Jones Industrial Average today, and it's down 582 points. It's starting to dawn on them. They're starting to realize that this virus is still moving through the population. A lot of places are on lockdown, or certain states are starting to open up. But the problem is they might have to go back on lockdown again if the cases increase. This is a total nightmare for everybody. And, a lot of people in my audience, they don't even want to talk about it anymore. It's such a nightmare for them. But, instead of hiding our heads in the sand, let's get out there and let's root up the cause, the dirty bacteria of what's caused this. Root it up and let's examine it under a microscope and let's find out what's really going on. Okay, so $5.95 down on the market today, 2.44%. Now, crude oil, $19.35 today. It's up 51 cents on the day, or 2.71%. And U.S. Treasuries today, we got a mixed bag with Treasuries, guys. Middle of the yield curve's rising, long end's falling, and we got the U.S. 1 year's falling, and we got rising on the short end, too. So we're looking at 1.25 on the 30-year and 0.615 on the U.S. 10-year. And now let's take a look at the dollar index. And we got a fallen dollar, 98.89. You notice how everything, with the exception of Bitcoin, and the reason why Bitcoin's going up is because of the halving. But everything else is going down, descending downwards. Everything's deflating. You haven't seen nothing yet compared to what's going to happen in the real estate markets. This is going to be absolute, and car sales, which is kind of the hallmarks of the economy. Is real estate and car sales are two of the big hallmarks of a good economy. It's basically dead. Nobody's buying any houses. Nobody's buying any cars. Prices are soon going to start to have to go into decline, especially on real estate. Car lots are going to be full of last year's models. I can see a time coming very soon, maybe a year away, when not only will they have a few of last year's models in the cars, they'll have the year before that, and these will be brand new cars. They'll have 0 miles on them, and they might be 3 years old. You know, this is the world we're heading toward. Thank you guys for listening. Like and subscribe, and give me a thumbs up, and we'll catch you guys in the next show. Bye bye.